Let's move on to something kind of fun. The Browns. You don't hear that much. The Browns. That's something fun. Shockingly relevant in real life and in fantasy. This could be a total facade. Let's be honest. After finally cashing in on all their assets, Tyrod Taylor, Jarvis Landry now join Josh Gordon, a stacked line, and other freakish athletes, and Corey Coleman, David Njoku, might have pronounced it wrong, but you guys all know who I'm talking about, to form a barrel keg. A barrel keg? Is that a powder keg or a barrel keg? I've got barrel keg, but I think the term's powder keg. Anyway, again, you know what we're talking about. Something that could blow up. It has explosive potential. How do you see this unfolding? I can't wait to hear the answers to this.
All right. So this is, I think what they did this offseason, and it's fun because the Browns hype is back a little bit. Sure,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a huge believer. I'll start it off right now. I'm not a huge believer in Hugh Jackson. I mean, when you have one win in the last 2 years, it's kind of hard to be. And that Browns team last year was not an 0-16 team. I encourage you to go back and look at the Detroit Lions. Like, that team gave up over 500 points. Like, that was an awful defense. So I think the Browns could have at least been like a 3-win team. And now they've added some guys, interesting pieces. Like, I like Carlos Hyde. I think if there's going to be one guy on this entire Browns team who I touch, it's either going to be Carlos Hyde or it's going to be Tyrod Taylor. And because all the other options, I have absolutely no idea. Like, zero idea. Like, Tyrod Taylor, the most passing yards he's ever had in a season, 3,100. The most receiving yards a receiver's ever had with him is Sammy Watkins at 1,000. Most receptions is 60. And for the fact that Josh Gordon and Landry are both top 20 receivers, that's hard for me to put a peg on. But you saw how much Tyrod Taylor leaned on a guy like Charles Clay. So Njoku, I really like as a talent. Could steal some targets. And then when you throw in the equation Duke Johnson as a running back who's probably going to have 60 receptions, good luck. Good luck figuring out who the heck's going to get points in this offense because I have no idea.
Do you think they're going to put up the points, though? Do you think it's going to be a tidal wave of offense? Or are they going to still be – I mean, they were abysmal the last 2 years. Obviously, they're going up, but how up do you see them going?
Well, when you throw 28 interceptions and you have just the quarterback issues that they had last year, I don't really think – I mean, they have to improve. Like, there's God, I mean, I would hope they don't throw 29 interceptions, or I can't even imagine that. But
Tyrod Taylor, he's so careful with the ball, though. I think that's a great point to bring up. I mean, I don't think he's ever had double-digit interceptions. It's shocking. I didn't realize how careful he is with the ball. It blew my mind when I saw the stats.
Well, that's why he got benched for a guy who threw 6 picks, Peterman. Like,
right,
like,
disgusting.
It was amazing that day at work. Oh my Lord! But I that's the thing. Like, Tyrod's going to get his 400 yards rushing. Tyrod's been, I believe, QB 14 and QB 11 the last 2 years on a pretty bad Bills team, which I think we've already gone over. But now he's going to go to a Browns team that has a lot of options, and there's no reason why you couldn't tell me like Tyrod's not going to finish as a top 12 QB because he's done it literally like the last 2 or 3 years.
I think we're kind of an island on ourselves for this one, Mitch. I love Tyrod, too, and I keep seeing hate after hate after hate in the Twitter world for fantasy on Tyrod. I think the biggest concern people keep bringing up is he could get benched for this stalwart, whatever quarterback they draft. At number one, yeah, sure, that's a risk, but I like Tyrod. I don't think he's going to get benched. I think he's going to get the full season at least so they can develop this guy behind him, whoever it ends up being. And I just believe in Tyrod as a talent in general. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to get his rushing, like you said. And this is by far the most explosive cast he's ever had to throw to. I think he throws a nice deep ball. You look at Josh Gordon, nobody can get deep and over the top of defense as good as Josh Gordon when his head's on straight. Of course, that's a huge if. That's a guy I'm surprised you said you'd only touch Taylor and Hyde. Josh Gordon, to me, drips in so much upside. I absolutely love him. I'm going to try to be getting him on almost every team because Todd Haley, we've seen, obviously it's easy when you have an Antonio Brown or a Larry Fitzgerald, but he did it with Dwayne Bowe. I mean, Dwayne Bowe had 15 touchdowns under Todd Haley. He loves to pepper his number one guys, and assuming Josh Gordon emerges as that number one guy, the talent should dictate that. He's going to be one of the most talented guys that Todd Haley's ever had to work with. And this is by far the best quarterback that Josh Gordon's had at his disposal. I mean, he put up 1,600 yards in 14 games with who? Brian Hoyer and friggin' Brandon Weeden and just complete garbage. You're telling me with Tyrod Taylor he can't do something similar? So I'm really high on Gordon. I think that's a guy you got to give a little more love to.
I mean, you like Taylor. I like Taylor fine. I think you're higher on him than I am. But I thought Mitch's point about like what is the most receptions anyone's ever had with Taylor is like 60. you got two guys in, and it's like everyone's all of a sudden expecting like 200 reception guys out of Taylor, and I just that seems
Look who he's working with. A
nuts
banged
to
up
me.
Sammy
And was he also
Watkins?
going to throw like 60, 70 passes to Duke Johnson, like what 80 to Njoku or something? That's not Tyrod's game.